Hello, welcome. My name is Deanna Gonzalez. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm so glad you came to come and craft with me. I'm very excited about our new catalog, our 2013 to 2014 catalog with the really cute little girl on the front cover. In here we've got some really exciting stuff, but I wanted to do a tutorial just using our new 2013 to 2015 collection of ink colors. So we've got the Crisp Cantaloupe, Strawberry Slush, now aren't these sounding delicious? Then we've got our Baked Brown Sugar, our Coastal Cabana, and Pistachio Pudding. Now these are gorgeous, fun colors. And if you buy this set, it's going to be $29.99, and you're going to get all 5 of the ink pads, as well as all 5 of the cardstock colors. And you're going to get 4 of each color, 20 total. They're just so beautiful, aren't they? They're just, oh my goodness, they just stand out. So I'm going to do a series doing 5 cards, only using that set, and as well as these 2 stamp sets. I've got Delicate Doilies and Everything Eleanor. Even though Everything Eleanor has a great selection of stamps, I mean, beautiful, right? Very old school looking, very, yes. But the swirly bobs, I feel like, go really well with the doilies. It's a more simple design. I just feel like it goes really well. So I'm just going to be using the swirly bobs and the delicate doilies with these. So yes, thank you for joining me. And the very first card we're going to do is going to be this, using a really fun technique where you start out with 1 stamp and you just keep going, not re-inking the stamp, just going like crazy, you know, to get that beautiful fading look. And then we decided to, well, I decided, and hopefully you'll decide to do this too because I think it looks so cool. I cut out the doily and then did the doily twice, cut out this part, and added some sparkly beauties. So this is the way the card looks, and then we do something pretty on the inside, right? So just do it. All those little touches make such a difference, don't they? So let's begin. First of all, you're going to need a trimmer. It just makes life so much easier if you can always have the perfect cuts for everything. Now I've already taken out the Crisp Cantaloupe. Where did I get Coastal? Anyway, so we're going to take the Crisp Cantaloupe, and this was, of course, a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and we just cut it in half. We just move that over, and we got it at the 5.5 mark. So if you just put it at the 5.5 mark, slide your little trimmer up, you're going to have this great piece. And if you don't have anything else to do with that extra piece, set it aside. I happen to have been playing with this technique a little bit, and so I have my little scrap paper already where I've done this many a times over. So we're going to take that, we're going to set that aside for right now, just for right now. Then if you take an 8.5 by 11 Whisper White and first go ahead and cut that in half, I then took this, and instead of just leaving it, you know, cutting it again in half, to make it set perfectly inside of here, you go to the 4 1/4 here, and you go to 4 on this side. Since this is a 5.5 by 4 1/4, you do that and it just has just the perfect little edge. As you can see, it just comes in really nice. I really like the way that looks. And if you do this often with your cards on the inside, it'll just pop out and just look wow, you know, every time. It just gives that little extra thing. So we're just going to put that aside. And on this one, we're actually going to, this is going to be a little complicated because this is how we're going to get the little strips. And instead of, you know, going ahead, of course, and making it like 1.5 or something, I made it this size, which I'll tell you in a second, but I kind of felt like it looked really good with this, so I kept it that way. So please forgive me for not making it more simple, but I'm hoping you're gonna like the look. If not, go ahead and say, you know, Deanna, I think 1.5 is just fine, and go ahead and do it that way. So we're just going to take it, and we're gonna go up to 1 3/8 So 1, 2, 3, right here. We're just gonna go down, just trim that right up, and we're gonna have this. Now we're gonna take 3 of these, do this 3 times, and set that aside. And now we are going to have our beautiful strawberry slush. I totally want to go get a slush puppy with this, you know. So again, cutting it in half. This beautiful little piece I'm going to set aside to stamp on later. And here we're going to cut this 4 1/8 this way because it needs to be a little bit bigger here. Now it kind of sets in here. If you want to have a larger border around, go ahead and either slice, well, to get this to fit beautifully, you want this to be 4 1/8. But this piece, instead of doing, you know, this piece, I mean, this is the inside. I don't know why I grabbed that one. This one's the 3 15/16 and 1 3/8, and that actually fits in a lot better. So now we've got the better frame. Whoops, I'm really sorry about that mess up. I'm kind of doing the camera thing on my own tonight, so I won't be able to just blip that out. Like we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm sorry about that little quick mishap. So anyway, so we're gonna be doing that. I really like that frame. But again, if you want a bigger frame, just trim this in a bit, and then you'll have that way it sits really nice here. So we're gonna take this and we're going to cut this at 1 5/8 to do that. So here we go. 1 5. Okay. Whoops. Doing that. Voila! Fantastic! And so now our little whitey bits will later on fit in here just fine. So now that we've got that all figured out, let me put this out of the way. We're just gonna go in, make our life simple, and score this beautiful crisp cantaloupe. Now I love the scoreboard. I mean, I just sit there scoring like crazy, folding, and the folds look so beautiful. You can also, on our cutting trimmer, one of these cuts and the other one scores. So you can just line it up if you want in here. It works just as fine. I've just sort of gotten addicted to this. And so we're just going to go right here. I always set this at 5 1/2 and 4 1/4 because I'm constantly making these cards. So yeah, anyway, we're just going to go in and just press down, make that beautiful line. Do it again. Oh, isn't that nice? So now we've got that. And now sometimes it's hard to figure out where is the best place to fold this, right? Well, if you just pressed here, right, you're going to fold that out. So the lumpy bumpy part is on the inside of the card and the in pushy bits are on the outside. We're just going to fold that, and now you've got this beautiful, crisp, totally, you know, professional looking fold. I love that. I've done the fold in half, use a bone folder, but sometimes for some reason it just messes, gets all crinkled. The fold just doesn't look perfect. So now I've been like scoring like crazy and having a great time. So now that we've made our card, we'll set that aside. And now we get to get into the fun stamping. I love fun stamping. So something that I think we should do first is take the inside part of our card and just lay it down. I always like to have a piece of paper because when I stamp on these, I always make sure it's a bit outside, and I always want to protect, you know, the counter or table, whatever I'm working on. I am a mess. I mean, I just start getting into stuff, you know, gluing, sticky, you know, everything gets everywhere, and then I'm just like, oh no, you know, it spends way too much time cleaning, scrubbing, you know, using the fingernail to get the stuff off. Forget it. So I just always protect it with either a cutting mat, piece of paper, whatever. Since this is ink and I don't want to be smeared around the cutting mat, you know, I just grab whatever piece of paper, like just a cheap piece of anything, you know, a paper bag, whatever, just slap it down there and it's going to protect your working surface. So we are going to take our strawberry slush and the swirly bob from Everything Eleanor set. And we are just going to, I used the E plastic block, and you might wonder why I don't have the really pretty sticker fancy swirly bob on this side of my foam stamp. Now I tried doing that first and it looks beautiful, it looks fantastic. Every time you look at it this way you're like, oh, this is so nice. And you just hold it firmly for a little bit and then it stays, where the foam, if it doesn't have that, it's just on right now. I can smack this about and nothing's gonna happen. But if I do that with the beautiful little sticker thing, I find that it slips off sometimes. And I'm not a light presser by any means for anything. So I find that when I'm scrubbing to clean, they fly about, or, you know, if I'm, sometimes with some of the littler pieces, you know, like teeny tiny phrases, you know, I'll stick it on something and I'm like getting ready and it falls off. And I'm like, oh no, like maybe I didn't press hard enough, I don't know, but the magical sticky that happens, you know, just with Deanna doesn't happen for some reason. So anyway, long story, this is why I do this. So anyway, I just love our ink pads. They are so much fun. If you don't know how to open them, you just take them, put your little thumb there, slide it, whappo, right? The ink pads, the new ones that Stampin' Up has come out with, have a foam that just presses that ink like right up to the surface. So you don't have to like press real hard, you know, which I'm really good at, you know, but you don't have to. You just do a light little pressing and you're gonna do just fine. So we're gonna try to be light and not do the typical Deanna, let's press it down, you know, let's see how it goes, right? So we're gonna get this, you know, nice and covered. You just check, make sure, yeah, this is looking nice. So we're gonna go for this. I wanna make it so that it's kind of filling the corner here, so I turn it just so. And like I said before, you want to make sure it's going off your page. It makes it look so much more professional, because if you buy pieces of paper, they don't have a white border around the edge, right? So when you do it off, then you're going to get that perfect look. Now, isn't that gorgeous? This is the inside of our card. This is awesome. Isn't this so exciting? Oh my goodness, when I started, you know, making my own paper decorations, you know, I went nuts. I just like off the page, like let me do all this crazy stuff, and it is so much fun. So we'll just put that aside for a second while we get all our little cute tiny strips of Whisper White. And actually, I found that when doing this prior, I needed a little extra space here. So here we go. Move those just about right. I think that's just about right anyway. Let's hope it is. Okay, so this time we really want to make sure we're getting good and inked, because we are not going to be going back and re-inking while we go up the ladder, because we want to get that beautiful fade look, right? And this looks fantastic with so many other stamps. It really does. It's so beautiful. I've done this with, you know, flowers, with the vines, oh, so many things. So just making sure, you know, yeah, we're good, we're covered. You know, we're just about to not re-ink it. It's so nerve-wracking. So I'm going to set this aside a little bit so that the pattern will go beautifully all the way across, because this does not fit my entire page of paper. So I'm just going to lay it down, press, and go straight up. And now I'm going to try to line it up about where I think it was there on the other one. And if it's not, you get a little bit dark ink on the edges, that's alright. It just gives it that little extra bit of a touch. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Everyone will know you made it. So we did that. I think it's looking fantastic. Now we're going to have to re-ink again, because now we're going to be going on this other side and going up and doing the same thing. So just re-ink that really well, and we're going to press down, getting the swirls to get close to each other. Not quite touch, but close, you know, so it looks really pretty. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. So I am a huge fan of that. So now, the way I like to clean my stamps, I just grab a piece of paper, and believe me, as I do these videos, you are going to see these. Let me show you. One of my pages is just so ugly. I just use the ugliest piece of paper I think I have, and then I just like slap the ink like crazy. I just think it's so repulsive that I decided to use, you know, just a cheapy white piece of paper. So we're just gonna, you know, make sure we get as much ink as we can. It's okay if you don't get all of it. I mean, I've got little itchy bitsies there, whatever. So then you take the Stampin' Mist and just spray that on the little teardrop area. It's so great because it tells you, right? Here, get this all wet because there's a teardrop, and then sunshine as we sit there and, you know, dry it over there. So, yeah, I just scrub that, and look at that. I mean, because I don't have that little sticker, I can shove that scrubby all I want, and it doesn't pop off. So, got it all dry. Oh, this is so good. So now it looks brand new. I love that about this cleaner. And the other thing I noticed when using other stamps, when I would stamp before, I would stamp and then I'd have to run upstairs because, you know, I'm downstairs right now. The bathroom's upstairs, so I had to run upstairs and wash it off, and oh my goodness, I would be so exhausted. I mean, that kind of stamping will wear you out. I was just like, oh, what am I doing? You know, it's not fun, you know. I'm just pooped out and I do 1 or 2 stamps and then I'm just done. And now I just got my little scrubby bits and I am good. So we're going to set that aside and set this aside as well, just for now. And now we are going to be doing the beautiful doily. So I use the you know, bottom right one, the big flowery looking one, just so beautiful. And we're going to get a piece of our strawberry slush here, as well as a piece of our crisp cantaloupe. Now, let's do the strawberry slush first. All right, popping this open. I have a little bit of a thing there. All right, there we go. Don't want to get that in my ink. So here we, oh, a quick tip. If you ever get glitter on your ink pad, if you just take really cheap tape, and you just lay it on here, and like you can pick up the little bits of glitter, and then your ink pad will look nice and new because glitter gets everywhere. Glitter's the kind of friend that just sticks around, you know, whether you want it to or not. So here we go. We're just going to do this, and this is the D block, the D clear block, and we're just going to go down, press, go up. Okay, go up. And here we have a beautiful doily. Isn't that great? Oh, boy, oh boy. Well, I am not perfect, as you can see, but I have a lot of fun, and I'm hoping you're going to have a lot of fun with me too. So here we go. We're just going to clean this off because now we're going to have to go for another color. All right, scrubby, 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 scrubby. Oh, dry. And look, it's beautiful. I'm absolutely fine for the next stamping. So setting this aside, going in here, crisp cantaloupe. All right, so here we go. Pressy, 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 pressy. Woohoo, very nice. You can get it in there. Press. And with this one, with the crisp cantaloupe, if you have a smaller piece of the paper and, you know, not like a full page, as long as you get the center piece in here, that's all we're actually going to be using, so that's okay. So, whoops. Okay, so there's that, and let's clean this off before we press on. You're going to be so tired watching me scrub these, aren't you? Okay, so nice and clean, fantastic, yay for us. Alright, so now, setting all of this stuff aside, we are going to bring in our card again. And I'm just going to lay it open because I want to put in our gorgeous little centerpiece. Now you can use the Tombow glue, you can use the 2A glue, the snail adhesive. There's just so many different things you can use. Whatever your favorite thing is, you know, go for it. Right now I'm just going to use the quick snail adhesive. For the inside I'm really not worried about it being bopped about, so I'm probably not going to put tons of it on here. Well, we'll just go for a little bit extra. There we go. So the key with this is not to press it down as fast as you put it down, because then it's going to stay and it's not going to be friendly with you later, and you're going to be like, it's not perfect. So what I do is I just kind of do the best I can to eye it, right? And then kind of see where it is, and see mine's not quite perfect, so I'm just going to nudge it a little, and because I haven't pressed down really hard, it's going to let me do that. I think that looks really nice. So now we're going to just press it down. Voila! How beautiful, right? Very beautiful. So that's the inside of our fancy, fancy swirly bob card. And now we are going to take, take our little strawberry slush bitty bops and the, well, this one. I don't know. Why do I think it has a name? So, again, oh, way to go, Deanna. So, again, we're just going to, aren't we having fun? Aren't you having fun? This is great. So, we're just going to go in here and do the little snail adhesive again. Now, because this is going to be on the cover, I want this to stay really well, right? So I just like to use a two-way pen, kind of color in like where the snail adhesive didn't quite get, because I don't ever go quite on the edge so I don't stickify everything else and make a big mess. I've done that. Yeah, big mess woman right here. So we're going to take this. Again, we're not going to just press it down. We're just going to lay it down like around where we think the middle is. And look, Deanna was extremely wrong. That is not the middle, not even close. Okay, so we're just going to maneuver this little sucker a bit, and if it would just be a little more friendly. Come on, be friendly. Seriously? This would happen, right? Okay, so there we go. That's quite perfect. I like how this looks. So now we've got the bottom piece, and we are going to do that with all of them. And to save time, I've already put some on here. So what I like to do is just do the top and bottom first. That way, wherever the middle is, it will look like the middle. I've totally done the middle first and then done the top and bottom too. That's another really good way. But if I go like either from the bottom up or the top down, yeah, sometimes it's just not quite where it ought to be. Let's just say that. So here we go. Again, not pressing too hard down. That looks right. Let's just go ahead and press that in. And now we're going to, again, we just take the little adhesive runny bits and I love this. This just makes things so fast. I have used so many different adhesives, so many different gluey bops, and you know, this just makes it like slap, slap, slap instead of, okay, let me tediously put my glue here and there and, you know, end up messing everything up. Anyway, so here we go, and we are just going to put this down. And I did make sure that the longer side was here and the shorter side was there, the swirly bobs. So I'm going to line this like around where I think up here how much space there was between those. And I think we've got it. Yeah, this is looking good. Alright, so now we get the center, and we're just going to try to get that centered the best that we can. It's not going to be perfect, but you know, it's still going to be cute. And here we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wonderful. And I press down. So now we've got this part of the card. Isn't that fantastic? So now we're going to take our really beautiful doily swirly bobbies and taking our snips. And a fun little pointer with these is just, instead of moving the scissors about, sometimes it's just easier. You get a smoother cut if you're just moving the paper. So you sort of keeping the your let's say left or right, whichever hand you are. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna hold it like this. My husband is left-handed; he would hold it differently, and then my left hand will be moving. So we're just gonna be doing that really quick. Now I'm just cutting around the edge here, just making it easy. Just these cute little loopies, almost making like, you know, basically a scalp. Oh shucks, a scallop border, or a, why can I not think? I think that's correct. Hopefully that is the right. Please forgive me. My wording vocabularies today, I don't know, they're just gone. So anyway, we're going to cut that out. I'm not going to make you have to watch all of it. And then here, we're going to go in and just cut in this little flower here. And I already cut it out, so again, you're not going to have to sit there and be like, Deanna, seriously? Cutting? Like, I don't know how to cut? This is so boring. So anyway, we won't be doing that to you tonight. Or today, or morning, or any time of the day that you're watching this video. Just happens to be nighttime for me. So now that we've done that, let's get... So as we, you know, cut out all the little things and we have a scallop edge. Yeah, it's a scallop edge. I did most of the Julie Boppies, the pretty sparkles, ahead of time so it wouldn't take forever. But I just took the basic rhinestones. The way I like to remove these, because if you use your fingernail, a lot of times you just get the sparkle pretty and no glue dot. And you're like, oh, it won't stick, you know, it's sliding about. What's going on, you know? So I've seen people use scissors and all kinds of little bits and bobs to get this off. I like the pokey guy. I feel like it pokes really well, and you know, I can just go right under here and lift that up. And I've decided to go into the open swirly thing here, so I'm just gonna set that right in here. And on one of them, I put little sparkles on this part to make it look like the bow part coming out here. So every time you put a sparkle on one of these doilies in a different spot, it gives it a completely different look. And you could do pearls. I'm so excited about our candy dots that are in the catalog. I don't have them yet, but when I do, I'm going to be candy dotting everything. I'm so excited about candy dots. So yeah, I don't have candy dots, so I can't be doing that yet. But when I do, you better believe I will be candy dotting. Now, the other thing we're going to do is stick another pretty little sparkly bob right in the middle of this guy, right? There we go. Now, if you want, you can put the Stampin' Dimensionals first, but I was so excited to do sparkles that I just did it first. So there's no need to worry. Whatever your preference is, it's totally fine. So I'm a big believer in popping up and puffing things up, so I love the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. So why did I put that middle one? Oh my goodness. So anyway, you can easily take these off as well. Obviously, I can't believe I did that. I forgot that I'm putting this in the middle. You put the jewel there and it just won't fit, right? So here we go. And we are going to just take our little Stampin' Dimensionals, slap those in there. I like to get a good little... Okay, well, Deanna didn't do a good little job there, so we're just going to slice this up real quick. Save that for a rainy day, and do that. So anyway, if you lay it out right, maybe all three will work. But okay, so we are just going to have a hard time peeling these things off for some reason. If you do have a hard time peeling the outer piece of the non-sticky part, the part that makes it so it protects the sticky bits, you can push your fingernail here and it makes the outside come off really well. And why didn't I do that? Yeah, I don't know. Not too brilliant tonight. It's been a long day. So we're just going to lay that right in on the decoration. Now, this is a technique that I think is just amazing. I mean, you look at your stamps and start thinking, what can I cut out of my stamp and pop up, you know? You can do this with so many different things. I love popping things out. It just adds so much more to your card. All that dimension is just wonderful. So here we are. We're going to be popping out some more. And I really just, I like to add a decent amount of these. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Lost some of the video, but the rest of the video was pretty much me just putting down the Stampin' Dimensionals and setting that beautiful little doily right in the center of the card. Thank you so much for watching, and please come again and visit the rest of my site. Thank you, goodbye.